The only people I feel sad for in my life is the people who don't take Godfather seriously.
Hello Ramu sir, very excited to be doing this revisit.
Me too.
Yeah. So when did you watch Godfather for the first time?
See, that's a very interesting question. See, I first read the novel actually.
Okay.
See, the novel came to me in my senior inter, I would think roughly, where this friend of mine came and said there's a very hot sex scene in page number 25. That is how it came to me, the book.
Pulp. Yeah.
And of course, I read page 25 first. And once that is done, I just flipped over the pages. Now, I never heard of the word mafia. I don't know if there's something called the underworld or any criminal organization for that matter at the time. At the most in Hyderabad, we used to know some street gundas, if you can call them, But the book was riveting. I read it at one go and I read it again the next day and I couldn't stop reading it. Then maybe after 2-3 years, I would think the film came. It could be more than that.
Book came out in 1969, the film came out in 72.
Okay.
Yeah, 3
but,
years.
But at that time, they used to come very late.
In India, right?
In India,
yeah.
So I don't think the film came here before somewhere around 76, 77 is my rough guess, And first time when my uncle took me to the film, my uncle used to be heavy, drinks a lot.
Okay.
So once we went into the theatre, start అయిన ఒక 15 నిమిషాలకి అలా తీసుకుంటే తెలిసిపోయారా ఇంక చూడట్లేదు and he took me away to the bar because he was more interested in the drink, And then after that, probably again I went to see the film 2 days later and then I kept watching. But my first impression, very honestly, was I thought it didn't do justice at all to the book.
Okay.
And I was though I liked it, I wasn't gung-ho about it in the context of comparison to the book. But over the years, I started, in repeated viewings, I started warming up to it. And the best ever impact I had was 2 days back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think like what they talk about old wine, is maybe it is something to that.
Took time.
Yeah. Because I think, see, it almost doesn't look like a movie. It looks like there are some people, when you're talking, somehow the cameras happen to be there invisibly and caught what's happening.
Yeah.
That is the feeling it gives you.
Yeah.
I can't imagine an actor coming out of a makeup van or his entourage there and they're doing some hair and this and that. And I can't imagine that happening in Godfather.
Yeah.
It looks so real and the characters look straight out of life.
Right.
Yeah.
But when didn't you feel the same when you watched it for the first time, that realism aspect of it?
Not really. No, not at all. It took me a long time to come to though I saw it many times for various reasons. See, for example, my first, the opening line of the novel is, Amerigo Bonacera sat in New York's Fifth Court with vengeance in his heart. Vengeance upon the two people so cruelly hurt his daughter. So after that, then the judge leaves them and he tells his wife, justice must go on her knees to Don Corleone. Now, because the book made such an impression, for me to just straight start from Amerigo Bonacera, I believe in America, that close-up, it just kind of disoriented me in terms of that. But if you look at it, funnily, see, though when Godfather came out, maybe in America they know mafia. How will we know in Hyderabad?
Yeah.
But the fact they didn't establish what the Don is, they didn't establish what he does. All he asks is, he doesn't even say to beat them. Actually, he just says, give me justice.
I'll make them suffer.
And he says that I can't do still. So make them suffer. Yeah. So see, when you read a book, the problem is in your imagination, you imagine the setting, how Tom Hagen will look, how this guy will look, how that guy will look. When that doesn't happen, it will take you for some time to get out of what you already imagine and to see freshly what is in the film. Yeah.
Right. But what I love about the film is it's around 2 hours 50 minutes. By the end of 2 hours, that within 2 hours, we are completely familiar with this world, the power dynamics, how they operate, like the families, everything. It paints such a clear picture without actually, exposing, without actually
Yeah, see,
doing that
see
exposition.
the point. What stuns me about Godfather, I mean, I can't recall a single film after Godfather. If I saw that anywhere, people are having conversations.
Yeah.
In films, they speak dialogue. They will
Right.
throw dialogue. That is what film format is. Godfather is the only film I think they are having conversations like regular people, like normal people when they sit down and talk. And why did that happen only in Godfather? And for 50 years, in spite of everyone respects the film, everyone is gung-ho. Even I'm talking about 20-year-olds also talk about Godfather. And nobody tries to even imbibe it, and including Coppola himself.
Yeah.
That is another shock. Yeah.
It's a heavy conversational film. It's just people talking for 3 hours, and
Yeah.
they make like the most
And it's
important
conversation.
decisions.
Most important, there's no dialogue. Dialogue buzzy. See,
yeah.
even the greatest line, I'll make him an offer he can't. It's said very casually. There's not one separate close-up and background score change when he says it. He just throws the line in the course of the conversation.
Yeah.
And that is real because a guy is used to it. Why will he say it like a dialogue?
He has seen it all.
Yeah.
It's
So he
not
doesn't need to
sensational for
make
him.
it sound special. It's in the course of his life. I'll make him an offer. See, I always done it. That's what it means actually. Yeah.
No, another quality about Godfather that I find fascinating is nonchalance. Like you said, all the characters are very laid back, nonchalant. They keep doing all these violent things, but there is a sense of calmness to the way they operate.
See, I would say it's not about lazy. See, the point is when you are used to that in the field, it is not going to surprise you. It is not going to shock you. See, for example, when he meets the producer, and halfway through the dinner, and he suddenly loses his temper and he starts shouting at Tom Hagen, "Don't try all your tricks on me," and that guy continues eating.
Yeah.
See, the point is, and it doesn't make it a show. See, I see, even if he was shouting, "I'm actually eating." That is what we do.
Yeah.
He just continues doing what he was doing because he doesn't lose his temper. And then as he just wipes his mouth, says, I'd appreciate if your car drops me because Mr. Corleone is a man who insists on hearing bad news immediately. Yeah. He just says it.
Yeah.
Ek baar ho sun gaya na, now we will. No, he doesn't mean it.
Yeah, your life's gonna change.
Yeah. So the point is, see, when I did Sarkar, I took the tone of the novel.
Not the film?
No.
How would you differentiate?
I'll tell you the difference. See, the difference is this: I would like to really narrate one scene, how I would have done it.
Okay.
From Godfather. This is one of the most powerful scenes, See, when Luca Brasi is introduced,
Yeah.
now
In the wedding.
in the way it is showed in the film, he is just memorizing a line, how you want to say, just by hearting something which he wants to say to the Don on the eve of his daughter's wedding, Now, when I saw the film, or anyone sees the film without reading the novel, they won't even know who is. Actually, there's no build-up. Nobody knows. Only after the introduction is over, when he talks to the thing and he says, Luca Brasi has put a gun to his...
when Michael narrates it to K. Yeah.
To K. But that also is not a big deal. I mean, in Mafia, what is a big deal about a gun?
Yeah.
But the novel, in the novel is introduced in the beginning of one chapter, From 1935 to 1937, the name of Santino Corleone sent shockwaves through the underworld. But even he, in sheer terror, was eclipsed by the awesome man called Luca Brasi. Luca Brasi was one of the most feared men in the Eastern underworld. His great talent, it was said, was that he could do a job of murder all by himself without the help of any confederates, which makes discovery and conviction by law almost impossible. Short, squat, massive skull, his presence sent out alarm bells of danger. he was himself one of the great blocks that supported the Don's power structure. He did not fear the police, he did not fear society, he did not fear or love his fellow man, but he chosen to fear and love Don Corleone. Ushered into his presence, the terrible Brasi held himself stiff with respect. Now, this is a description
Wow.
in the novel before he's shown.
Okay.
There is no way this can reflect,
In that
of
one
course,
shot, yeah.
See, in a novel, because you have all the time in the world, you have so many pages, you can do anything, you can go to backstories and this and that. In film, even in a nearly a 3-hour film, you don't have that liberty. That's fair enough. But I just to brag, I would like to think how I would have shot that same scene. Not changing anything. I'm not changing anything in the scene at all. Not any extra. But to get the tone of what Mario Puzo described in the novel, if I started on the close-up of Luca Brasi, I'm honored that you invited me to the wedding. He's saying those lines, but in his eyes you can see he's almost angry with himself, but why he got stuck in a place like this. And he's getting irritated at himself and why he's not getting the lines and how to say. So that slight difference between nobody would do that in a wedding unless that guy is something special, something out of the ordinary. Okay. And then when Tom Hagen comes to take him, and then he suddenly spots Michael and Kay, and he leaves Luca Brasi and comes here. There I want to have one close-up of Luca Brasi because he's not used to be waiting.
Right.
Because he's a special guy. So Tom Hagen leaving him and going and talking to somebody else, I just want to see that impatience in his eyes, And then when he goes in and he's talking to the Don, and suddenly the kids come in. The playing kids come in. I wanted one close-up of Luca Brasi because trying to be very respectful, and I see a flash of something. He got irritated the sound of the kids before he got back his composure. And that is noticed by the Don.
That's why he
and the Don says to take them away. Then after he finishes the line, whatever he has to say, and as he turns back, thank you, Luca, most honored friend. And as he turns back, I just want to see from that friendly thing to slowly coming. That will justify the line. When in the novel he writes in the end, as soon as Luca left, the Don gave a sigh of relief. Luca Brasi was the only man in the world who can make the Don feel uneasy. He was like a natural force, not truly subject to control. He has to be handled as carefully as dynamite.
Wow.
That is the line is written.
Wow.
I feel all those lines kind of Coppola completely discarded, and whether he thought it was unnecessary, because I thought that character was supposed to shot special. Special I don't mean, it's small things like this. You just notice in the eyes. Yeah.
This is great because I was doing a little bit of reading about Luca Brasi, and there is so much backstory that the film just doesn't cover, that explains why he is so loyal to Vito Corleone. Apparently he saves Vito from 6 men and kills six men with his bare hands. These are all things.
All that I think definitely is for every character in Godfather has a long backstory in the book. But I think the fact, even later when Michael Corleone says, when Tom Hagen tells Solojo that even Sonny won't be able to pull off Luca Brasi, and Solojo says, let me worry about him, because by the time they already killed him. So the fact that he's so extra special was not reflecting in the film. Without even, just now what I said, I didn't even lengthen. Just 2-3 close-ups, I think would have done that.
As a comparison, there is a scene in Godfather where Luca Brasi's death is communicated to Sonny, and they get a package which is the bulletproof vest with the fish. Fishes. Luca Brasi sleeps with the fish. And in order to establish this, we have a shot of Luca Brasi wearing that.
Correct.
So how was that that in the book?
That is much more detail than that.
Okay.
In terms of his thought process, and when he was wearing the bulletproof vest, Luca will be thinking in the book that everything goes well, I can uh, I can give Solojo as a nice Christmas present to the Don. You'll be thinking, you know, you know.
Okay.
So the thought process, which can be incredible in a book, which you can never do that. I mean, you can't even have a voiceover; it'll sound stupid. So the way he goes and how he actually managed to get that meeting with Solojo and Bruno Tattaglia, all that is very, very elaborately described.
Right.
Yeah.
And when you say that the film, Coppola might have thought these bits were unnecessary, do you think, because you have followed Coppola's work?
See, also the one point is, I'll tell you, see, I don't think the book is a book, but I don't think any two people will read it the same way.
Same way, right, right.
See, for example, for me, Godfather, I think I almost by-hearted the book. You know, like when I told my writer for Sarkar, when I was making Sarkar, did you read Godfather? He said no. Then you first read the book and comments. So after he read the book, he came and said, what do you think? He said, sir, I thought it was very verbose and he was very this about it. I was quite surprised at why anybody will think of Godfather like that. But once I spent some time with the writer, talking to him, what I realized, that is the first time I realized no two people read a book in the same way.
Right.
See, coming to the earlier thing, what did I say? From 1935 to 1937, the name of Santino Corleone sent shockwaves to the underworld. But even in sheer terror, the accused by the awesome man called Luca Brasi is how I read it. How this writer, knowing him, would have read it is, from 1935 to 1937, the name of Santino, you would have read it like a textbook.
Like information.
Information. So the impact of creating, like watching it from a low angle, you know, of a dynamism of something. The subject remains the same. It is just in the way you view it or read it or feel it which changes. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite character? Because there are so many to pick. I think
it's, for me, it's almost impossible because see, another thing about Godfather, see, over the years seeing it many times, and then you see it on YouTube in bits and pieces hundreds of times. And every time you keep discovering new things.
New things, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
See, for example, this last time when I saw it 2-3 days back, you know, I suddenly realized Pauli Gattu's character, all of them are there, Rocco Lampone in the wedding, which I never noticed that.
What?
Pauli Gattu is a character who shot dead.
He's there when Vito is shot.
No, when he's shot after Clemenza shoots him from the back
from the
car.
Yeah.
That guy is there in the wedding.
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah. I didn't notice him before.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Clemenza talks to Pauli also.
Yeah,
wine.
He comes and gives, correct, wine, you know. I mean, almost every character which comes in the rest of the film is there.
Right.
Including Bazzini, you know, Don's friends and all of them coming to the wedding and all that. And so coming back to what you're asking, what is the best character? I would think hands down Michael Corleone. If at all I have to take a name, you know, especially in the later part of the film.
Of the film. I think this is one of those films, it captures that descent beautifully. That descent into darkness, like it's not one incident. We have seen transformations a lot of times because...
See, even in the beginning, right from the walk, his composure, wearing that military uniform, and to sit there and when he talks about Luca, talks about Tom Hagen, you can see that poise, you can see that dignity about him. It's not like he's not casual. ऐसा नहीं कि ऐसा character ऐसा हो गया. It's not like that. It actually, you can see this character can become like that if he gets into a situation like this. Yeah.
And by the end, there is a scene where he proposes to Kay, right? Where they're walking on the road and the car is escorting them. His walk has completely changed by then. And in the final scene where, like, the ending, he tells her, okay, this one time, I'm going to let you ask about my business.
Yeah.
And she asks, is it true? And with a cold face, he says, no.
Yeah.
And by then he has completely transformed.
See, I'll tell you something very interesting. See, the point here is, in the novel, what happens is, after this, after he says no, and she goes to mix him a drink, and these guys come, and that Albert Neri, he closes the door. Okay. She goes off from there in the novel, Kay Adams, because now she realized and what his no was actually like. He didn't care to tell. Much later, when Tom Hagen comes to meet her in the book, and he says, see, I understand your anger, I understand your sense of disappointment, but what you're not realizing, Michael is head of the family now, and he's got a responsibility towards the organization. And it was Carlo who actually pointed and facilitated the murder of Sonny.
Yeah, Sonny.
And how can he take the decision of leaving him? It goes against the entire principle and the fundamental concept of the family. And what kind of a leader would he be? You know? And he explains the whole thing, the reason why he had no choice but to kill her husband. So then she asks him, did Mike tell you to tell me all this? So then he says, you don't still understand. If ever you tell Mike what I told you, I'm a dead man.
Oh.
That's the whole point. Okay. And then Kay understood. And later she went to the church, as she did every day ever since the murder of Carlo Rizzi, and said the necessary prayers for the soul of Michael Corleone. That's the end line of the book.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Insane.
So the point is, in Michael's position, he can't tell about his internal things to his wife, because the organization runs on secrecy. You can't trust anybody.
Yeah.
The father doesn't tell the son doesn't tell the father, the brother doesn't tell the... That is what the whole hierarchy are there. You can't have those conversations loosely in the context. He will never show. Even when he asks Carlo Rizzi, he didn't say, did you do that? He asked him, was it Basini or Tartaglia? That's a trick question, which means he's saying that I already know it was you. I am only interested in knowing who approached you.
I love the fact that Michael follows this: keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. He keeps like Carlo by his side for years.
Correct.
For many years. If Michael wanted, Carlo would have been a dead man.
Yes.
But he keeps him by his side for many years, almost 3 to 4 years. And after everything is done, after the father is, after even Don Corleone passes away, he takes Carlo
because Don gave a word.
Yeah.
I swear on my children, I will not be the guy to break the peace. He said. He said, I.
Yeah.
That's a personal thing. Yeah.
I swear on the
souls of my grandchildren.
My grandchild. And I love that family aspect in the film. The fact that Vito Corleone is a family man. There is even a line where he says, he asks someone, do you spend enough time with your family? Because any man who doesn't spend enough time with family is not a real man. So the film keeps reiterating these themes about family, and the fact that you don't betray your family members. Even that's what Sonny also tells Connie, that okay, do you think I'm gonna make this child an orphan even before he's dead? So that's really beautiful about Godfather, because it treats these people like human beings, which apparently was...
Which is the reason they look so real. See, why are they real? Because they are like you and me sitting in the theater. You will see a brother somewhere. You will see someone who worked with you, an employee behaving like that. Everyone will have some kind of a real life reference point in Godfather, which is the reason the connection to the audience is so humongous because of it.
And we need to talk about the opening 25 minutes, which is like the wedding. And in that wedding, it establishes everything, like all the major characters,
all the power dynamics and hierarchy, everything.
Even the very fact that even their culture, that a Sicilian man cannot turn down a request on the day of a wedding.
Of his daughter's wedding.
Of his daughter's wedding. And it's like some 25 minutes long. And Kay Adams, I see Kay Adams as audience, because she's like the outsider.
Correct.
And Michael is the one dropping all the exposition. And now coming to filmmaking aspect, Gordon Willis is the cinematographer. There are long essays written about his lensing and how the fact that they didn't want to use any modern equipment, because in 1972 this was a period film, because it was set in 1940s. I like how classical the making of the film is. My favorite instance has to be the moment Michael takes the decision that he will go and kill Solezo, you slowly see the camera, moving towards him. Until then, you don't get like a serious close-up of Michael. But then Clemens is standing, there is Sonny, everyone is there. This guy pitches the idea, and then the camera slowly moves
See,
him.
but to be very honest, see when you watch a film in totality, it is so very difficult to really look at which technical aspect of it, was photography or music or which is actually enhancing.
Which is a great thing actually. If a film makes you...
So Gordon Willis highly spoken about, and he was on the cover of American Cinematographer magazine during that time.
Yeah.
And everyone swears by him. But I'll tell you some interesting point about Gordon Willis. He's done 79 films. Except for Godfather, nobody knows any film.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to take away something.
Yeah.
But you will never know whether it is just an idea of Coppola at that time. See, Godfather is a very TV serial kind of shooting. Extremely, they're not very dramatic movements or dynamic angles. And,
OTS close.
Yeah, that's it. Suggestion, one small trolley, one small zoom. That's it. But the characters are so clear-edged in terms of their body language, their behavior, the way they speak, and they're all in real space. I like that element when the dawn comes down after Sonny is killed and Tom Hagen is sitting and having a drink. See the odd positioning. He's sitting in the sofa. See, if they come and sit opposite to each other, is different.
Yeah.
But in a situation like that, no one is very clear. So he sits there. Yeah. So he has to turn his body to speak, and then him coming and just holding him for a second before going. And as he's going, he keeps on talking. And he keeps on talking, Yeah. So, and that is you're respecting the emotion of what the character is feeling at that time. Everything. There's very little background score in the film.
Yeah, very minimal.
And even when it is there, it's only two pieces which keep on coming.
Yeah. That different versions of it.
Different versions of it, yeah.
And when you say about seating position, the scene where Vito advises Michael, I think just before his death, he says this great thing. Someone's gonna set up a meeting between you and Barzini.
Yeah, whoever approaches you for a meeting with Barzini, he's a traitor. Don't forget that, yeah.
After that, he gets up. There is a sense of resentment in him. He's sad that his son, this is not the life he wanted for Michael. The way they sit, you can never make out on what they were sitting.
Correct.
Like Michael is there and he's sitting on the bench. The positioning is
correct. He doesn't even establish in a wide shot where he's sitting. What?
Yeah. So I find all those things like very cool
in
about.
fact, I was surprised after the dawn tells him and he leaves. And he leaves and it holds on to Michael, and Michael leans back like that thinking. That is when I realized it's an easy chair.
Yeah. Until then, it's not even established.
Correct.
It's not registered.
Yeah.
And Corleone dies in the most humane, vulnerable.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that Corleone would get
the main character of the film, if you just like that kill him as if it is like in today's time, if anyone comes with it, looks like a filler scene.
Yeah.
But he just like that dies, but the layer of emotion it adds. And the fact that no one comes and reacts to the body. Cut to a wide shot, you see the cars going into the graveyard cemetery.
If it was an Indian film, what would happen?
Yeah, they will come. All these things they will do, performances. Yeah.
So in that way, Godfather never tries to be emotional. Because there are so many deaths in the film, but we don't see the reactions. I think it's a film thing. I haven't read the book, so
exactly same.
No reactions.
No reactions.
Michael saw his body. Nothing.
Nothing.
Wow. And the baptism scene, which is like I think every filmmaker has tried to replicate.
Yes.
Right?
I also did it in Gayam.
Where multiple deaths are happening. Like, what do you think is like? Why do you think that scene holds such influence? That sequence.
See, actually, that's a very easy thing to understand if you understand criminals, how they work. most of the time, any boss of an organization, which used to happen before Godfather, and even now it happens, they'll always want a strong alibi.
What?
Alibi.
Alibi.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
they don't want to be anywhere near where the incident is happening. So the fact is doing a baptism and is a public function with hundreds of witnesses around. No one can say that Al Pacino, Michael Corleone is involved in it.
Mhm.
So even in Gayam, he is sitting with the commissioner of police.
When
So you
it's
can't have a
happening.
better alibi than that.
Yeah, yeah.
And many times the dons, they take this step as a necessity to be in a public place where everybody knows where they are at that time. So that is not like a unique this thing, but the first time it's shown on screen.
Yeah.
And the fact that he is doing to his sister's son, and Sony said, do you think I'll make him an orphan? He said that, but this guy made him an orphan.
Yeah.
But the point is, for which reason is the point? Because when Sony said that, it was just a beating of the wife. He had actually caused the death of his brother. So obviously this punishment will be much more. Yeah.
And I love Clemenza.
Clemenza.
Yeah, Clemenza. Because there is one scene where Vito declares Michael as the Don. And everybody expresses their disappointment or sorts because he's too young and all. And then he asks Clemenza and
He's a
Tissio-
Nepo Don.
Nepo Don. Yeah. He asks Clemenza and Tissio, do you guys
Trust me.
Are you loyal? Clemenza is the only one who replies.
Correct.
Tissio doesn't.
Yeah.
And Tissio turns out to be
correct.
a traitor. It's like a brilliant foreshadowing.
Yes, yes.
And even Tissio's death, like there is dignity in his death, because Tissio is walking out.
I know.
All of them approach him, and he's like, he asks him something, no, can you get me off the hook?
So yeah.
For all
so
time.
it's basically they're supposed to meet on his territory, and he comes and says the boss can't come just now. So you don't know exactly what he planned, where he's going to be shot. So if he comes separately, his initial plan will go for a toss, which is the reason he suddenly gets upset. That screws up all my arrangements.
My arrangements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then he says, even I can't go. That's when, and then this guy comes, 3-4 guys come little forward, and seeing their expressions, being a seasoned guy, he realized that the game is up. Can you get me off for all time's
The
sake?
hook for all time. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He just nods his head, And then he plays that is a betrayal. So he's a villain in the context, if you look at it. But that sad music comes because the background score is feeling sad for everyone, no matter whose side is who.
Yeah. And he says this. It was just business. I always liked Michael.
Tell his business.
And this is an aspect that keeps, I think many characters say this.
Yeah, Michael Corleone
It's
says
just
it.
business.
Sony says it, yeah.
Yeah. Solejo
says it, yeah.
Michael says this when Sony says you are taking it personally. And then there is this iconic moment, right? Michael says, no, it's not personal. It is strictly
business. Yeah.
business. And that scene where apparently I was reading a few posts, and I was reading how people were reacting when Godfather came out back in 1972, and apparently people lost it in theater when Michael shot Solejo, because they were not expecting it. At least those who haven't read the book, it was like a shock, and apparently all
but
the
why
deaths.
was it a shock? Because that was a plan, no?
Yeah, but still, how graphic it would be, the sound, all of that, and even all those deaths. Like there are a lot of sudden gunshots, right? Like Polly's beat, Polly's death, and like you see it coming, but the way how abruptly it happens, it puts like it has a very unpleasant effect.
Yeah.
And what are some of your favorite scenes? If you had to go scene by scene.
One of my favorites is after when Tom Hagen just comes out of the store, and Solejo is I just like to have a talk with you.
Right, before the kidnap.
Yeah, before at the kidnap. And that guy hesitates. If I wanted to kill you, you would be dead by now. Yeah. And then when he's sitting there, says your boss is dead, and there's no reaction at all. And he just keeps looking at him. It's just uncomprehending what he's talking about. And he says, I couldn't have done it 10 years back. He was sleeping. I knew it was a good deal. You knew it. And Sonny was familiar, wasn't he? But he was sleeping, so there's nothing you can do. And this is business. Yeah. So you talk to Sonny and make him understand. He'll come after with all he's got. Yeah, sure, that will be his first reaction. But he has to understand that Chetaglas and Bazini are behind me, and the heads of the New York families will do anything to avoid a full-scale war. But even Sonny won't be able to pull off Luca. Yeah, let me worry about Luca. Yeah, you talk to Sonny. He doesn't even tell he's already killed Luca.
Yeah.
Because there's no need. Why the hell should he tell anything?
Yeah.
This kind of a maturity in doing a crime drama, why the it happened 50 years back and we are not able to go anywhere near it? That is my most confounding question of my life.
Is it because we have seen it all in film?
No, I think it's definitely one part is because of the tremendous backing of the book. It just puts in the emotion into you and closes it, You become like that. I mean, of course, Gopal is a great director. I'm saying when you are reading the book in the context of how it mixes emotion and realism and doesn't stretch the drama at all, and it is treating everyone as intelligent. There's not a single character who's dumb.
Yeah.
They might be different in their characteristics, but none of them are dumb.
Yeah.
They all are superior to the guy sitting in the theater. That is when you actually get caught in the conflict of people. Even a small close-up of Paulie Gatto when he's sneezing, he's rubbing his nose, and this guy gives him an advice of taking something for the cold.
Brandy.
So,
Brandy.
Yeah, I'll try that. And the moment he goes out, he says, take him out first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
So
casually.
And so casually. That's the point. Yeah.
And Clemenza is like, yeah, sure. And he does that.
Yeah. Understood. He says, that's it.
Yeah.
And then for me, that scene when Soloji is talking in the restaurant,
In
and
Italian.
and the waiter comes and he takes his own
Time
to open the... And you can see that irritation. It's just waiting for him to go to start the conversation. Yeah. And the guy, the police captain, looks so detached because he's there just for the money is being paid. He almost looks like he's at another table in spite of being at the same table
just
and knowing
food.
what's happening.
Yeah.
He's very, very interested in what he's eating.
He's even wearing a napkin.
Yeah.
He's like, he's there for a meal. Yeah.
I mean, I can't say one single scene. I think Godfather is too many of them. Yeah.
And you...
And Mo Green scene.
Huh?
Mo Green in Las
Mo
Vegas.
Green. Yeah. The way it escalates.
Is that the reason you thought you can slap my brother in public?
To straighten him out.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
His death is also very cool.
Yeah.
Like
And you see, they didn't show that scene also. Beating, you see, to slap Michael Corleone's brother is a big thing. You would have thought you will show that scene. He didn't care.
Yeah.
And we still got it. The fact is, asked the question and he told him the reason why he had to do it. And the brother says, Mike, you can't come to Las Vegas and talk to a man like Mo Green like that. Freddie, you're my brother and I love you. Don't ever take strides against a family. That is a chilling coolness. And in the way he speaks, you see the difference between him and Fredo and Sonny. Yeah.
Absolutely. And when you are saying, I'm thinking about all those scenes. Apparently, the studio asked Coppola to increase the violence in the film. He didn't want to.
Not that I mean, I know too much about Godfather. See, they were not sure about. They thought of it as an action film initially. Because if you look at it, Public Enemy #1 was a film which came before Godfather. It didn't work, but there's a lot of these gun shootings and all that in that film. And at that time, this kind of if you can't call it action in the first place, then no one ever saw anything like this. So action kaisa hai, Sony ko kaise marega, isko kaise marega, you would obviously be thinking something like that. So they wanted a separate action director. Action will be shot by that guy, like what we do today. Yeah.
Drama will be
Yeah. So when he wanted to do it himself, they were then when they saw the beating of the wife, when Carlo Rizzi beats up the wife, when they saw that, they first time understood what, not that there is an action scene, but they realized this has to be very different from the rest of the whatever they've been watching so far.
Yeah. And there's one documentary about the making of Godfather. It just shows how difficult it was for Coppola to stick to his vision, because Paramount was consistently asking him to make
that's
this,
I mean, casting wise and whatever. That to be very honest with you, that happens in every film, not only Godfather.
But this is legendary.
Because become a legend, you're talking about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure that happened in even Megalopolis also. Yeah.
No, but I would like to discuss some scenes, like the death of Sonny.
Yeah.
The way it builds up. It starts with the fight.
See, after
right?
praising Godfather so much, I'll tell you 2-3 scenes which I think are logically off.
I think you spoke
One is
about this Sonny.
Yeah.
You spoke about this.
Why I'm saying that is because, see, the call came, and in that mad rush of anger, he left, which is what they were counting on. He comes and gets into the car, and the car takes off, and in the same shot, this guy tells them to follow.
Tom Hagen.
Yeah, Tom Hagen. And they're getting into the car. By the time it is what? Now it's an open stretch there. There's no car, no vehicles there at all.
No traffic.
He comes here. And in the book also he wrote, and then slowly his anger started coming down. Sonny's anger. And then as he approaches this place, there is no vehicles in the back. There's no vehicles, and one car is just kind of backing. There the guys were waiting, and he gives this coin to the toll gate guy, and that guy drops the change, and then these guys come and shoot, and they come and check, they kick the body to make sure it's dead, and they go in, and then the individual shots of the glass panes and then the car comes.
Yeah, which means some time has passed.
Lot of time. Because see, if the whole point is they're coming as bodyguards, they can't come aram se, na?
Yeah.
And see, if that shot was not there, see,
the shots of the broken glasses?
No. In the same shot, them getting in. See, unexpectedly he came and took off. So it will take some time for them to ask somebody to get into the car and follow, na?
Yeah.
The mistake there was in the same shot they got into the car, which means there couldn't have been time lapse between the cars.
Yeah.
Another
instance
is when Carlo Rizzi is killed. No? And get out of my sight, he says. And he goes and sits in the car. And then that's happening in their compound.
Yeah.
Just maybe the road is just outside. And Clemenza puts in that garrote to kill Carlo Rizzi. And they start the car. And the car is traveling on the road with the shoes coming. Why would they advertise it on the road?
Right.
The logical thing is to kill him there only.
Yeah.
And the car starts off, it is going, and then only see and if anybody on the street see a man's feet coming and stucking, everybody will know a murder is happening there. Yeah. This is one. Yeah, I think these two are the main things.
No, but that windshield shot is quite visceral.
No, it is great, but logically,
yeah. I'm talking about the impact.
Yeah, impact, of course.
It's quite visceral because you don't see the man, but you see his struggle through.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Correct.
Through legs. What do you think makes Godfather like a textbook? Because so many films have derived from it, and it is still being reiterated.
And you can still, it is like an unending well.
Like Animal, more recently.
You can keep on drawing from
so many parallels.
It doesn't seem to end. See, one I think is because if you look at the dynamics of it, when someone I was watching last time, this guy asked me, why did they kill Luca Brasi? Why did they kill? See, the point is, how much of it is very clear-cut understood by people who haven't read the novel or haven't thought enough about it. I have my doubts. Because very realistic films, this I realized in The Exorcist also. It's a 2 hour 20-minute film. Not a single guy dies in Exorcist. No one is killed. No one is killed. But it scares the hell out of you, and it's all dialogue, conversation. Hardly there will be 3-4 times a jump scare happens. But it chills you because of the realism. It looks so real, you'll forget you're watching a film. That is one. Now, second point is when characters and their motivations and their kind of relationship dynamics look real. And it is working on 2 counts. On one count, it is telling the story of a family, a father, a son, a good son, a bad son, a useless guy. And then his new son-in-law comes and he's got his own thing. And then there is a daughter-in-law. All these elements are there in every family. Without exception, irrespective of the country, culture or X and Y and Z. So that becomes immediately relatable. And now they are put in a situation which you might not be in the mafia. You will be working in a company. You will be working in some business. Something of that will happen. A murder might not happen. A betrayal will happen. Your trust will go somewhere wrong. Your expectation will be thwarted or something like that. And then there is a relationship dynamics. He's having an affair with some other woman, Sonny. And Michael Corleone going there and forgetting about Kay Adams and falling in love with. All that will happen in every person's life. That with that kind of a reality and them looking larger than life because of the overall concept of this gangster film, where what the family is about. I think it had a double impact on both these counts, and I can't think of a single other film that doesn't come to my mind which has this kind of a mix.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think of the whole Sicilian angle? Because see, I'm a 28-year-old guy. I grew up with films. I first watched the films that were derived from Godfather, which had Godfather influence, and then I watched Godfather. So in present day, if say someone were making a Godfather inspired gangster drama about succession in 2025, somehow that portion, that Sicilian portion feels like a detour for me. When I was rewatching it today also, see, it happens only like, I think, because Michael has like a wound, the time, it's not taking a lot of time, considering the span of the story, but it still feels like a detour. And we see that Michael is deeply in love with Kay, and suddenly he's getting married to a local lady there. Somehow that bit, as like a millennial,
I see your point, but you see, if you look at it in one thing, without the Sicilian portion, that is the only time it could have come into a certain area of non-believability, if that section is not there. And I'll tell you why. How does that happen in the novel when it starts? The reason he left is because the cops will be looking for the killer of Solo Joe and Captain McCluskey. In the novel, he ended one chapter with the day after the murder of Solo Joe and Captain McCluskey. Police captains of New York sent out word there will be no more prostitution, no more gambling, and no more illegal activities of any kind. Everything came to a standstill. Later that day, an emissary from the other families met the Corleones and asked if they were ready to give up the murder. He was told that the matter does not concern them. That night, a bomb exploded in the Long Beach Mall belonging to the Corleone family. And also that night, 2 button men were shot to death as eating their dinner peacefully in an Italian restaurant in Greenwich Village. The 5 families' war of 1935 had begun. So he wanted an extended break because in the context of who sides with the Don, who doesn't side, who's doing that, and that is when they go to the mattresses. When Clemenza is looking for a place, when he takes Pauli Gatto, he says, I'm going to the mattresses. Mattresses means they all disappear from their usual places and they're staying in small apartments, putting one mattress.
There's a show.
Because everybody is under the, and then we have this montage they show. where the cops are taking pictures with the slain gangsters and all that.
Yeah.
So to cover that thing, the Sicilian thing was used as a
Okay.
him going to Sicily and the Apollonia track, because while this is going on, since anyway is the protagonist, he's only going to, we are following his story.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for 1 year when this is happening, this is not the interesting point, because if this guy is dead, that guy is dead, and intermittently they broke the Sicilian thing with the Sony's murder, whenever it happens.
Right.
So, and I think that is giving a terrific shade otherwise to Michael Corleone.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
and I think the death of Apollonia was a very necessary thing for him to just cross over that part.
Right.
And the car blast of Apollonia's death is, I think, almost the final chain in him finishing the entire hardening process, because by the time already he heard about Sony's death, to see her be killed in front of his eyes, that is a requirement, I thought. Yeah.
Car bomb, wife in car bomb blast. Sarkar.
Yeah, I copied from there only. Yeah.
So Godfather is a film that what do you call, everything about it feels special, sir. I mean, we can keep talking on and on about it. The dialogues, like you said, they're not dialogues. They're just
they're just truths.
Conversations. Like the offer I made him an offer.
I make him an offer, he can't refuse. And he says it casually.
Yeah. Look how they massacred my boy. So all these things, I think it is, what do you call?
Yeah.
And surprisingly, even after 53 years, it doesn't really feel like a film that came out in 1972.
That is because the characters look real. See, what ages is a technology can age or something can age, but people will not age. No? The Godfather kind of people can exist in 2025 or 2035 also. For example, interestingly, I'll tell you what is the basic point of Godfather, what you understood from Godfather.
I see.
See, like in any story, it takes off from one particular reason is what sparks off a story, either in real life or in cinema also. What do you think is that spark in? What do you think that
the story?
Yeah.
So because Vito disagrees for drugs, he calls it a dirty business.
No,
That's
see,
when
that is an obvious thing.
Okay.
But why did that come? You see, it is not about Vito saying
His
no.
principles.
No.
He's old school in a way.
No. I'll tell you why it came. Business is going fine. Suddenly, a new element called drugs came, where the other families saw the importance of that in terms of potential, where they can become bigger by using that. But the stumbling block is a Don. Because why? Because he's got powerful politicians and judges in his pocket. So without that support, we cannot get into this business. Otherwise, they don't need Don.
Yeah.
So they sent Soloja as an emissary to talk about the deal, which is what he says. I want from you $1 million in cash finance and all your powerful politicians and judges when our boys get into trouble. That is the only reason they want him.
Yeah, and we'll give you 30%.
Yeah, and then when he says they won't remain my friends, is Don's logic. So which means he became an impediment for the business advancement for the other Dons, for Tartaglia and Bazzini and all these guys. So the only way they can solve it is to get him out of the way. So they thought if we kill the Don, and the Sony anyway was for the deal, and we can control him, and after the initial burst of wanting vengeance and all that, we will take over, is what the plot was, So all this, his main cause was the lucrative business of drugs coming in, which nobody wanted to leave that, and which is caused them to decide to kill Don. Otherwise, they could have killed him before also, no?
Yeah.
There has to be a reason for why they want to kill him now. Because he became an impediment for their business prospects.
Right.
Yeah.
That is where the story begins.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, correct.
That is where the story begins.
So and story will always begin with some reason. It cannot happen just like that.
Yeah. And I love the fact that Vito Corleone says that I don't want vengeance. I don't want vengeance at the end after
correct.
Sony is killed.
Lots of times, even in Bombay underworld, or even I saw that in Anandpur radical factionists, these things happen even today. They will make deals of not having revenge, and they will promise, and sometimes they go back on it, sometimes they are, and sometimes they know if you pursue the revenge, even they will get hurt.
Yeah.
You know, so lots of these things happen because eventually human beings' power is limited. So if the Don already lost his son, and now he cannot afford to have a violent fight with the New York's families, other families. So the only way he can do it, I will give up my revenge. And then he agrees to share his judges and all that. There's a compromise.
Yeah.
You know, but they are wary of it. Barzini is not too sure about whether he means it or not.
Yeah.
You know, so outwardly they are all fine. Yeah.
So finally, a lot of there's a lot of debate on internet where young people call Godfather boring. Okay, because it's just people talking. What would you say?
I mean, I see anyone can feel anything. So I wouldn't like to comment because it needs, like, you know, I told you about my own writer, Srikar.
Yeah.
We said it is verbose or I mean, but the fact remains, I don't think there's a single film which stood the test of 50 years and still people are talking about it. Why are we having an interview for an hour and a half on Godfather? Now, so you said you're 28, yeah? Then if you are still feeling the impact of it, and I know people are 19 years old who talk about Godfather. Yeah. So whoever is not liking it, I mean, but everyone has got a right, and in terms of their sensibility, how seriously they saw it, did they see it in bits and pieces, or do they really get it? I don't know.
Superb. I mean, we can still keep talking, but
Godfather, I can talk about it for days because I know it. If you look at it, something like Albert Neri, he just has got 2.5 close-ups in the thing, and when he wears the police uniform to shoot Barzini, he's an ex-cop in the book. He's actually a cop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he, after that guy, I mean, there's an entire chapter on him in the book. So he is nurtured by the Don to replace Luca Brasi.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
so he becomes the most personal bodyguard of Michael Corleone after that. So because he's a cop, in the end he wears that police uniform. But they didn't show. But even if you don't know it, oh, it's a police uniform pen. What's the big deal about it? He came in the disguise of a cop.
Yeah.
And you don't realize one thing. Solojo is technically the main villain. I mean, registered wise. And he dies in the first 40 minutes. And after that, no villain is there.
Yeah.
See, Barzini is information. There is not a single scene of Barzini or Tartaglia independent.
They're just names.
Yeah. And you don't feel the absence of them.
Absolutely. Solezo is killed, and then these people, they don't even have close-ups. They are just
no.
Just there.
See, even in the when in the intercut killings of the people, nobody knows who is who.
Yeah. I had to literally
Mo
pause
Green,
and see.
There's Trashy, there's Tartaglia on the bed, there's Barzini on the stairs, which this guy shoots.
The hotel that
correct,
thing, Mo Green.
It's
all, it doesn't matter. The people don't matter because
see, it is also breaking the structure of storytelling. We will always think you need to build up the villain, a strong villain chahiye, villain nahi hai to how can hero work? All this, that's all in our head.
Right. So technically, there is no villain in Godfather. The first of if you in Indian standards, if we consider
Indian standards, Solojo is the villain because he started the thing, and he died in the first 30-40 minutes.
And his death would be like interval bang or something. If we made it,
and then we need to get a bigger villain in our language.
Yeah.
Solojo ka baap koi chahiye. Then we need to build up Barzini or Philip Tartaglia, which they didn't care.
Yeah. And the very fact that when people are dying, we don't know who's dying.
See, in the meeting and the conversation which is happening, when Don calls for them, everyone looks, they're all junior artists, everyone is a character in their face.
Yeah.
They look like they've been there, done that. Just on a close-up without a dialogue. That kind of a casting, who takes care here? Assistant will say, he will say something like that.
Yeah.
All of you can say it, Barzini, and they'll call them like that. And they won't even make them feel that they're important people in the, which is, I think, I saw one making video of Godfather 3, yeah, in which Coppola was talking to Al Pacino, just and it's just low in a slow voice is talking. I can easily imagine him doing that in Godfather with each and every actor without exception. Otherwise, it's impossible because they were made to feel important. This I realized when I was shooting Sarkar. No, Rashid is a new actor, Zakir. So he was kind of this with Amitabh Bachchan ke saath pehli baar kar raha hu, you know. I said, forget you're not a new actor. You are Rashid. I need Sarkar to be scared. At least I need people to be scared for Sarkar because they don't know what the fuck you're going to do.
Yeah, what you're capable of.
So I say, right from the time you're getting down and you're walking up the stairs, I need to feel a sense of importance. When you feel important about yourself, it will translate into the film like that. So then when he's sitting in front of Amitabh Bachchan, I sat down on the floor and I kept talking to him more than Mr. Bachchan.
Right.
I wanted to give him, I've made him feel like a star, and he's the most important thing in the scene, which I think he is. Because without that, the film won't take off.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this, I think Coppola has done with every smallest of characters in The Godfather.
In Godfather.
Which is, and which shows, which is the reason you remember each and every character, no matter how small the role is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They made a show about the making of Godfather.
I couldn't stand that.
You tried watching it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't like it because, see, I feel they rushed it up, one. I feel it should have been done in exactly the same style as Godfather. They're very laid back and them taking their own time. And I think to discuss about whether Brando should be there or not, it should happen in real time. It will be interesting, actually. They kind of made it very cinematic.
Right.
And they are talking dialogue and all that, you know.
Yeah. No, but
I mean, with all my love for Godfather, I couldn't watch it even one episode. I cut it off in 10 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. Nevertheless, thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This was really.
I mean, I
a
really
pleasure.
enjoy talking because I think I can't stop talking about Godfather. This is one more opportunity for that. And the only people I feel sad for in my life is the people who don't take Godfather seriously.
Banger. Amazing. Great way to end the conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.